Marksini. They were close through turn one. In car with Tony Quinn. The Vodka in-car camera in the mighty Mosler.
He's full of Viper there in the front of him there. Marksini trying to get down the inside there.
Everyone well behaved through these first couple of corners.
Jordan Ormsby led the charge for the GT Challenge division, but not even he could hold off Jim Richards.
Ormsby now, Jim Richards down the inside. Both Porsches, but in different classes.
Yeah, the Porsche of Jordan Ormsby runs in GT Challenge. Slightly older car, but really designed for GT racing. This car's got pedigree of Le Mans 24-hour versus the car of Jim Richards in front. Used to run in the Carrera Cup Championship when it was here in Australia.
Max Twigg, the fastest lap of the race so far. It's very much a Porsche day at the moment, but nevertheless, Ormsby leads the way in Challenge.
Further back in the field, an intriguing contest was taking shape.
What a combo, Vipers versus Lamborghini Gallardo and the Audi R8, which missed race one with that accident damage from qualifying. It's up and running now.
It is. It's a full credit to Mark Eddy and his team of guys to get that car back out. It was very unfortunate to see the mistake there in qualifying, but Mark's having a great time out there. As you said, he's mixing it up. He's got the Lamborghini there in front and the Viper in front again.
Right in behind Peter Hill, this car from the FIA GT3 Championship overseas. And Audi very, very interested to see how it performs in Australia.
Absolutely. Well, this is the first time that one of these Audis has raced outside of Europe. There's only 10 cars ever been built, and this is the first time one's raced outside of Europe.
Then Tony Quinn's bad luck continued.
Oh, Tony Quinn spins on the exit of 9 and causes more damage.
You see on the in-car here, he's turned in. Looks like he clips the curb on the inside, gets up on that curb on the outside. These GT cars don't like being bounced off the curbs, too hard on the throttle, and that's where he's ended up.
So he switches to the Sun's car and damages it as well.
Throughout the race, there was no shortage of door-to-door racing.
Andrew Taplin, the Lamborghini Gallardo, has Marksini and also Theo Condouris closing in a pair of Porsches. And now there's a yellow flag there. That's for Tony Quinn's car crashed around the corner. And both Taplin and Condouris have made moves under yellow. That's a big no-no.
That's a huge no-no. The officials will be having a big look at that one. You could see the flags were out there clearly, but those guys obviously didn't see it. So we'll see what happens after the race.
And two of the interesting elements to this form of racing. There's a new driving standards observer this year. Cameron McConville's taken over that role. And all cars run on a Michelin tyre. And of course, the cars are all different, so they all react differently on the tyre.
Theo Condouris making full use of those Michelin tyres down the inside there of Ross Lilly.
With less than 3 laps to go, no one could pick how the top 4 would finish.
The fight for third is on. Greg Scott, the British GT Championship winning Viper, but he's got a Lamborghini racing him down. They've had some overheating problems with this big car. He's got a bigger problem now. It's called Peter Hackett.
Max Twigg getting nice and close to the back of David Wall. He's trying to sort of replicate the move that maybe David pulled on him. Having a look down there the inside.
The Porsches have been the class of the field in race 2, and Max Twigg's just been able... big problem. The Trulock Porsche slows on the run back into the race course. Sounds like something in the driveline. The engine's pumping.
Yeah, you can certainly hear it. There's lots of throttle going on, but certainly no drive. So something's obviously gone wrong there with the Porsche. Disappointing because he was having such a strong weekend.
That gifted David Wall his second victory for the weekend.
David Wall off the final corner. He had to work a lot harder for this one. He'll take the checkered flag. He's some 6 seconds down the road from Greg Frick, who's managed to hang on to second place from Peter Hackett in the Lamborghini Gallardo. And Theo Condouris will bring the Porsche home in 4th, but he's under investigation for a pass under yellow flags. Dean Grant and James Condouris rounding out the top 10 in race 2. Jordan Ormsby takes the win in GT Challenge, and Andrew McPherson's Mosler rounds out the top 20. His Mosler's in one piece. This one has been damaged. Not quite as bad as the primary car, but Tony Quinn's been in more dramas.
Tony, that's disappointing. You were pushing so hard. What happened? How did you feel inside the cabin?
I don't know what happened. I mean, we haven't done a lot of testing in the car. And Adelaide's not the best place to go testing a car. And I think when it goes up on the curbs, it just doesn't like up on the curbs. I'm just not having a good weekend. It's bound to get better, though.
When we return, the third and final race from the streets of Adelaide. This is round 1 of the Vodka O Australian GT Championship. The third and final race of the weekend started with all guns blazing.
The green flag flies and look at them fan out towards turn one. The power of the Viper gets Greg Crick to the chicane and he gets a nudge from David Wall.
He certainly does, but you can see back behind him, you've got 4 cars wide coming into that first chicane. How they all get through there is amazing.
GT cars generally not built for street circuits. They like the fast, smooth, flowing European tracks. This is a street fight.
They certainly do. You can see here Mark Eddy down the inside there of Ash Samadhi. Uses a bit of curve to get himself through there, but does it nicely.
A real mixture of the GT Challenge cars and the Championship cars as well. Crick leading the way, then Wall, Hackett, Mark Sini, a great start. Look at this for a move, Kanduris, great fight back from James. He's down the inside of Dean Grant.
Here we are back on board with Tony Quinn in the Mosler. You can see there the paddle shift on the steering wheel, but when he actually grabs the gears, it still moves the sequential lever.
Tony Quinn into pit lane in the Mosler. Ongoing problems for this team this weekend.
Mark O'Connor's Lotus Exige was punching way above its weight class.
It's amazing to think that this car has got a 1.8-litre four-cylinder engine. It's class leader, and it's beating a 7-litre Corvette.
He's doing a fantastic job out there. As you can see, he's stuck there in a Porsche sandwich. He's got Michael Lontesano there in front.
The bumpy street circuit caught out several drivers over the course of the weekend.
James Kanduris having a look at the back of Mark Senior. Look at Theo Kanduris. His twin brother making a lunge on Ross Lilly. No chance.
We spoke about it before, those bumps up there into turn 4. And speaking of bumps,
while the Dodge Viper was being hotly pursued for the lead, several cars further down the order began to pick up the pace.
Just close your eyes. You'd think you were at the Le Mans 24-hour. Great sounds. Here's Andrew Taplin in the Lamborghini Gallardo.
Coming into this high-speed turn 8, about 185 kilometres an hour through there. The V10 of the Lamborghini absolutely singing through there. Then hard on the brakes down here into turn 9. It's about a 50-kilometre-an-hour corner, so it's a big break.
Just under 1,300 kilograms for the Lamborghini Gallardo. 4 wide into turn 9. Peter Hill now in a Lamborghini, switching from Porsche in the off-season. And Mark Eddy, the Audi, nearly got another scratch.
It certainly was. The big winner in all of that was Jim Richards. He managed to pick up 2 places. But as you said, we're here on board with Mark Eddy in the beautiful Audi R8.
Peter Hill, Jim Richards, Shane Smolin, a big mixture of cars. And now the former Australian GT champion Mark Eddy tries to make a move but gets chopped off.
He certainly had a good look down the inside, but Shane Smolin wasn't going to give him any room.
James Kanduris is the fastest man on the road. A little bit of a rubbing tyre there for Jim Richards, but Mark Eddy's back in the clutches now of both Ian Palmer and Ash Samadhi. Here's the new Ascari, Darren Berry behind the wheel, still feeling his way with this new car.
He certainly is. You can hear that beautiful BMW V8 in the back of this car. This is really just a learning weekend for Darren and his guys, a chance to sort of get some miles under their belt and see what they can do with this car.
It's a big step up from the Mini Challenge, but it's a fantastic new addition.
Greg Crick tried valiantly to hold on to the lead, but it was clearly just a matter of time before the reigning champ made his move.
The former GT champ and the current GT champ getting stuck into it. The Viper's had some overheating problems this weekend, and Greg Crick's got, well, he's got another problem. It's a Porsche.
He certainly has, and obviously the characteristics of these 2 cars, the Viper is about 150 kilos heavier than the Porsche, so certainly coming up here into turn 4, this is where you'll try and see David Wall. Here he goes down the inside. Nice clean move there.
And the Porsche, perfectly poised, rear-engine, 6-cylinder car, so precise.
Then on the last lap, there was room for one more show of strength.
Peter Hackett closing in, hasn't raced full-time for the last couple of years in this series. And have a look now, Kanduris is having a run.
You can see James gets the run onto the back straight, looks to the inside there, but watch the power of the Lamborghini. The Lamborghini really starts to stretch its legs down here towards turn 8. 535 horsepower from the Lamborghini, the Porsche 440, and the change and the difference is noticeable. Absolutely, you can see the power of the Lamborghini really comes into its own on the back straight there. But down here under brakes, back into turn 9 again, you can see the Porsche closing up.
David Wall takes 3 from 3 in Adelaide, the perfect start to 2010. Greg Crick hangs on in the Viper. 4 different cars in the top 4 spots, separated by less than 4 seconds. Theo Kanduris rounds out for 10.